with the introduction, and we're starting the theme. We need to place the bow to get started. Place the bow. That means to put the bow on the string like this. And then play. Continuing on with these down bows. The bow starts from above the string, but just a little, maybe half an inch. Practice this bow stroke. You could do 10 or 20 or 30 of these. Or you could practice it on a scale. We need to find just the right spot in the bow so that the tone rings out like a bell. If it's too close to the frog, it becomes too heavy and the tone gets choked off. And this is too far towards the middle, so the bow is out of control. The bow speed is fast, not like this. And the bow stays close to the string, otherwise it turns into what I call a chop. Here it is again, the right way. Here once again we have the dotted 8th and 16th note figure. It's faster now. The 16th note is very fast and clicky. Not lazy like this. And it's still legato, not separated like this, but legato like this. Retake the bow. And again place the bow on the string to start the repeat. And again, when you continue on to the next section, retake and place the bow. This needs to start near the frog with a tiny up bow and a big down bow. Don't do this. Here's the right way. Now we have the dotted 8th and 16th with separate bows. Play that figure elegantly with only a tiny bit of bow. The little notes get only a little bit of bow. The longer notes get more bow. That's a basic principle of bowing. The harmonic jump right out. That's another elegant violinistic moment. In measure 44, make sure the half note gets its full value and the last quarter also. 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, you could take a little retard on this measure. 2, 3, 4. Now we're back home. Now, here's the variation. By the way, do you understand what the title of this piece means? Air varie. The word air means a tune or a melody. It's also related to the Italian word aria, which originally meant a song. And then it came to mean a song from an opera. Varie or varie. Varied or with variations. So we have a song with a variation. Or there might be several variations. This first measure is a good opportunity to practice the shift with light finger pressure. The half note needs to sing, and it needs its full rhythmic value. 3 and 4 and. 3 and 4 and. Do you recognize that this measure is just one big D major arpeggio? And the next measure is built on a G minor arpeggio. Here's the framework. When you start to recognize these arpeggio patterns and scale patterns, you're on the way to musical literacy. If you're not ready for this up bow staccato, you can play this measure with separate bows. Perhaps with a little bit of spiccato. For the next section, we use a sautiller bowing. Remember that word, sautiller. The bow springs without leaving the string. This bow stroke is very closely related to the détaché, which is perhaps our most basic bow stroke. The first step is to practice this passage with a détaché bow stroke on the string in order to learn the notes securely and achieve fluency. Meanwhile, you can start to explore and experiment. I'm going to start at the tip and gradually travel towards the frog to see what the bow wants to do at every point. It's starting to spring. Now it's too heavy. For this exercise, you can take your little finger off the bow, or maybe even take off 2 fingers like this. That leaves the bow free to work for you. Now, let's vary the amount of bow. I'm going to gradually use a smaller and smaller bow stroke. Something very nice happens as the bow stroke gets smaller and smaller, and the bow starts to spring, and the notes start to get a little click. Let's try that again, further out towards the tip. The important thing is to let the bow do what it wants to do. Don't try to make the bow bounce like this. Just stay calm and let the bow do the work. If the bow doesn't spring, this passage can still sound very nice, like this. It works better if the tempo is faster. We're at measure 72. Make sure you're counting properly. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a... And definitely make the retard, which prepares the return. Now we're back home. Measure 77. Watch the rhythm. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2. Make this harmonic sound great. Getting cleanly up to the harmonic and then cleanly back to the next note. Now we come to the coda. Do you know that word, coda? Loosely speaking, it means ending. Originally in Italian, it meant tail. You can do this bowing either staccato on the string or spiccato. That one's preferable. In any case, the two staccato or spiccato notes are always up bow, regardless of what happened before. Give these quarter notes their full value. I would ignore the dots in this measure. Make that high F long and beautiful. Retake. Retake again. I hope you'll play this piece, and I hope you'll come to enjoy it as much as I do. Please leave a comment or a question in the comments box.